Welcome to the Raven Space on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is Raven Space Daily, where we talk about Baltimore Ravens news every single weekday. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Please subscribe to the Raven Space on YouTube for the best Baltimore Ravens content on the internet. I want to make a real quick thing,
We didn't set out to make
you guys don't know, giving everyone fair warning here,
sang our
that
song.
the SEC passed, SEC revoked
Real bourbon, no
it may affect the Raven Space.
Wild turkey. It'll find you.
I don't know how yet.
Alex Collins
you guys know I don't make money from
has
this,
been
so
remarkable for the
if
Ravens.
it
To
ends
think
up
this guy was
costing me
cut
money,
during cutdown
we'll have to
weekend
think about some
and was
things.
actually out of
But
work for a couple
just
of
giving a
days.
little disclaimer
He
so you
scored a
guys all
touchdown in
know.
4 straight
Now let's
games
get
on
into
the
the
ground.
football.
You buy
with
him
our
as a
topic
legit
of
future workhorse
the
back for this team?
day.
I am.
So
I have him
first
as
we're going to talk about
RB13
Rashad
this
Perriman.
week. Yeah, and I would have no problem
And
putting that RB12
he's really right now
I really
becoming an
would.
issue.
Given the matchup, given the volume
and
he gets every week, and
it's
that's
an
the
issue
thing
that's
you
not
thought
good
when
for
Woodhead
us
came
as a
back,
team.
some of that volume would drop. We talk about Buck Allen
And
this season.
it
Nothing's really
sucks.
changed in the last couple weeks.
So
And he runs like he's
I see
235, 240.
something about an
Find me
echo.
a defensive
I'm sorry
back
if you
wants
guys
to
are
tackle
hearing an
4
echo.
quarters.
I will
You're not
try to
going
resolve
to.
that
The way he
as
drops
we,
his,
go
he drops the
along.
hammer on contact.
And you guys let me know if you still hear that echo. So then we're going to talk about the chemistry issue between Macklin and Joe Flacco. We're going to talk about Mike Wallace and his injuries. We're going to talk about mailbag question and the comment of the day. So we're going to hop right into it with the first topic, Rashad Perriman. A lot of analysts and outlets are starting to say that they believe that this benching is more than just a benching. And we're going to, and I believe it, to be honest. I really do. Because when you have a young player like Rashad Perriman, benching him for multiple games does not help his growth. So what the benching is telling me is that the Ravens have given up on this young man, which is a sad story. He really played hard, but they did give up on him. He tried. When you're not playing and you see Chris Moore getting reps, and shout out to Chris Moore, he's making the most of his reps, and he had a couple of great plays, I thought, against the Steelers. I mean, it's really showing his growth as a receiver. But Rashad Perriman's not having that growth, and I think it's the Ravens gave up, right? Why are we going to invest a starting spot when we're trying to make the playoffs when we don't even think we'll have him long term? That's what's happening here. So I feel bad for Perriman, but I really do think the Ravens have given up on him. You guys let me know in the comments below. Do you guys believe it as well? I want to hear you guys' opinion on this because I really do think the Ravens have moved on. Now we're going to go on to the second topic, and it's about another receiver. Like I said, this is going to be a receiver-heavy show just because that's how the news fell. So Joe Flacco downplayed the lack of chemistry between himself and Jeremy Macklin. And I agree with Joe Flacco on this point right here. The issue is not a lack of chemistry. The issue is that Jeremy Macklin is not making plays when he's supposed to make plays. The issue is that Jeremy Macklin, who has usually gotten open, doesn't get open. Now, Joe does miss him sometimes. I'm not going to say it's all Macklin's fault, but I will say that play on Sunday where Jeremy Macklin not only didn't get his feet in bounds, he stepped out of bounds, tried to get his feet back in bounds, which is a penalty. You cannot go back. You can't be out of bounds, come back in bounds, and be the first person to touch the ball. That is a penalty. He stepped on the thing, right? And so when you step outside and you come back and catch the ball, they're gonna say you're out, right? So he did that. And then when he caught the ball, he still did not get 2 feet in bounds. One foot was resting on the other one. So good receivers make those plays, to be 100% honest. He's not making the plays that he has to make for him to be the best he can be. And that's what I think. I don't think it's a chemistry issue. I think, Macklin, watch where your feet are, bro. You're an NFL receiver and a pretty good one before you came to the Ravens. Get your feet in bounds and make some plays. That's what I think the issue is for the Ravens and Joe Flacco and Jeremy Macklin. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and we're going to move on to the third topic of the day. And again, another wide receiver news day, a news story. I told you it's going to be a heavy day. And this story is about Mike Wallace. Mike Wallace has missed the last 2 practices for the Baltimore Ravens. And he said that even though he missed practice, he will be 99% on Sunday. And this is a good thing because I can't believe that I'm going to say this, but get ready, because Mike Wallace right now is the most consistent receiver on the Baltimore Ravens, and it's shocking me, right? It's shocking. Last year Mike Wallace was not consistent. He every 3 to 4 games he would have a big play, which really helped him get yards. This year, though he doesn't have as many yards because the offense is worse as a whole, you can right now, the last 4 or 5 games, you can count on him trying to give you some big plays down the field. The offense, for some reason, doesn't feature receivers as much as I would like, but he is the most consistent receiver. And it's sad that I have to say that, because consistency and Mike Wallace don't go together, but it's the truth this year. So it's good that he'll be 99%. Right now, the way that Jeremy Maclin, the lack of Brashard Perryman right now, I would take Wallace at 70% because he's the best receiver we have on our team. So now we're going to go to the mailbag question of the day. And this is something that is sponsored by the Raven Space Patreon and our patrons. Our patrons help us out, and they keep the Raven Space free forever. If you guys want to be a patron and help us and help our cause, please check the description below. Check the site out, and you have a chance to be a awesome Patreon. So the question of the day comes from Mark McGill, and he asked, is Matt Judon going to be the next best Ravens pass rusher, or do you think someone else will be? So thank you so much for your question, Mark. And right now, I can't predict who the Ravens draft or sign or whatever. I can only predict who's on the roster right now. So if the question has to be changed a little bit, who has the best chance of being the pass rusher of the future for the Ravens? And really, there's 3 players that we have to consider. Got to consider, of course, Tyus Bowser. Got to consider Tim Williams, and you got to consider Matt Judon. Zadarius Smith, I'm not sure if he'll be with the team next year, because if Terrell Suggs stays, which I think he will, you have 5 outside linebackers, and you know one of them, you're not going to resign Zadarius so he can be a bench warmer, right? So, unless he wants to play special teams or unless he's shown an ability to play special teams. But I don't think he has. So, I would say, out of the 3 that I gave you, right now, the leader has to be Matt Judon. I've watched all the games, as you guys know. I've watched the games multiple times. And Judon is better than them. And it's not close, really, to be 100% honest. It's not close. Run defense, pass defense, he's just better than them. Now, can they improve? Yes. I'm worried about Tim Williams because he's extremely raw, and he cannot get off a block right now. In college, he beat people with speed. He did not beat people with them hand moves. And in the NFL, you're not beating anyone with speed unless you have that special ability. You have to have hand moves. Terrell Suggs leads in sacks, not because he's faster than other players, because he can play with his hands. People don't get the chance to touch him, and then that's how you get sacks in this league. So Tim has a long way to go. Tyus is a little better, but he's still a little bit small to me. Like when he had a sack on Ben Roethlisberger, he kind of like hit Ben Roethlisberger, and Ben Roethlisberger quit on the play. You got to get a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger if you're Tyus Bowser. Tim Williams has to get a little bit better. He's a little bit too raw, but I think Matt Judon right now is just right. I think he'll improve, and if Terrell Suggs stays another year, I think all 3 of them will get better and have a chance to be very, very good. So now we're going to go to the comment of the day, and if you guys are in the live chat, drop them questions right now. And the comment of today comes from Jose Mija II. I hope I did not mess the name up. And his comment was about yesterday's episode, Christian Kirk. And he says, Christian Kirk would be a great would be great on the Ravens 100%. And I believe him because his logo was Ohio State, and I literally do not watch college football, so I cannot disagree. So that is it. Now we're going to get into the quick fire questions of the day. And the first question comes from Jack the King, and his question is, what should we go with in the first round? Wide receiver, QB, or other? The answer, wide receiver, cornerback, or other. The answer has to be wide receiver, or offensive lineman. Something on offense. Defense right now, other than middle linebacker, is a super stacked position. If you you have to tell me if you draft, and maybe on defensive line you can get some more people in there, but at the beginning of the year we were very stacked there too. On defense, other than middle linebacker, where's a rookie going to play, right? If you really have faith in our cornerbacks who are coming back from injury and different things like that, I say receiver has to be a premium right now, and then offensive line has to be in the conversation as well. This next question comes from Matt Reynolds, and he asks, do you think Woodhead is washed up? Ooh, I was about to say something very quick. I say he's closer to washed up than he is to useful. We're seeing that he can't do anything in the run game, and then when teams see him, they know it's a pass, so they play zone, which means now Joe Flacco can't throw any open lanes, so he's kind of forced to check the ball down. So I say get him. I say, if depending on the dead weight, you might want to cut this guy loose and give some other running backs a chance. Blake 247 asked, do you like our chances for the playoffs? I think we'll make the playoffs. I'm not even going to count that as a question, so I'll ask another one. Josh, I think I already asked a question. Here's a new person. Sorry. I'm going to hurt your name. I'm sorry. Prab Hishmaran Aurora asked, why do you think the Ravens can't draft receivers that well? Receivers are a hard position, man. Is it harder than quarterback? No. But different GMs have different strengths. It's weird to me that for some reason Ozzie can't really draft receivers, and really he's only drafted, in my opinion, one good tight end in Todd Heap, right? So it is weird. But the thing about receiver is that and when you're in college, literally, if you're bigger and stronger, you have a chance to be dominant. And it takes receivers a couple of years to understand that it's not about being bigger than your cornerback or faster than your cornerback. It's really about running routes in the craft. And receivers kind of get that a little bit late, because you have to think all your life you've been running past people and catching the ball. Now you can't do that anymore. Now you got to actually beat them on route combinations, find holes in the zone. So that's a hard position. We're going to do one more question. And this question comes from, let's do T Get Dubs. You've been here for a long time, and you're the last one I see. So, and his question is, should we keep Crockett and Max? I don't know what the contract is off the top of my head. But if you can get a backup tight end for a cheap price, you do it. If you have to pay a premium for either of those two, I say no. I mean, just because you lose a player doesn't mean you're a worse team. And let's say we do lose a player like Crockett Gilmore, because I think he has a lot of potential, and he goes to a team like the Patriots and becomes a good player. Well, you win some, you lose some, and I think we got to let them go and try to draft some new blood. Let's try to get some new talent on here, and that's all I want to see. So thank you guys so much. Someone asked about the writers on the website. The website is down for a little bit. We're fixing it. I promise you, we have an editor. Name is Derek. He's awesome. So if you are a writer and you emailed about it, believe me, we'll be in contact with you. The website will be up. I promise you. Thank you guys so much. Please subscribe to the Ravens Space on YouTube for the best Baltimore Ravens content on the internet. Again, we do videos here. We are now posting the interviews. We do specialty videos like mailbag and different things like that. So please come on back. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thank you guys so much. And go Ravens.